What's up, guys? This is Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 5 team builder against Jay and the UNC Wingulls in W.A.I.L.O.R.D, or the wonderful Amateur Invitational League of Ridiculous Drafts. Jay has a really strong team, and he's got a pretty good record as well. You'll notice that he's 3-1 plus 9, only 1 win behind us, but he's in the other conference. So this match doesn't matter as much because he's in the other conference, but I would like to pick up the win. Jay and I believe, are 4-4 all time playing each other. So it's sort of a nice rivalry that we've concocted here, and I'd like to keep my undefeated streak intact, to be honest. But this is a difficult matchup, so it was a little bit hard to prep for. Jay has a team consisting of Crocodile and Crobat, both Z users, Bronzong, Virizion, Lumineon, Clefairy, Kangaskhan, Virizion through Kangaskhan Z users, Alolan Marowak, Kroagnol, Rotom-Fan, which is a Z user, and Aurorus. He has priority in Kangaskhan with Fake Out and Sucker Punch, and Kroagnol with Ice Shard. Hazard setting in Crocodile with Stealth Rock, Bronzong with Stealth Rock, Clefairy with Stealth Rock, Alolan Marowak with Stealth Rock, and Aurorus with Stealth Rock. Removal options in Crobat with Defog, Lumineon with Defog, Kroagnol with Rapid Spin and Defog, and Rotom-Fan with Defog. And 4x weaknesses in Virizion to Flying, and Aurorus to Steel and Fighting. Pretty rough matchup for me, honestly. Crocodile and Bronzong are both 100% coming. They both smack my team. Crobat, I think, is probably coming as well. I have a relative flying weakness. Alolan Marowak is probably coming. Clefairy, probably coming. And then it's deciding the last one. I think it's between Virizion and Kangaskhan for him. I don't know if Virizion has a great matchup, although it does threaten a lot of my team. It's offensively threatened by things like Yanmega and Darmanitan. So we'll sort of see about that, see how that'll work out, but there you go with that. Clefairy is just a stupid wall, and I hate that thing, and it's annoying, just like Clefable. Hate Clefable, hate Clefairy, both in the same family, they both suck ass. Rotom-Fan is going to be obnoxious, but not overly hard to deal with. Aurorus, the combination of Aurorus plus Kroagnol means Aurorus can set the Hail and Kroagnol can set the Veil. I'm skeptical about him bringing Veil against me. I don't think it's great because Kroagnol and Aurorus both kind of suck ass against Darmanitan and Rampardos and Machamp, so I don't think he's bringing those. But yeah, Lumineon is another maybe for me. I'm not sure if he would bring Lumineon or not because Rotom-Mow deals with it really well, and then I can just sort of bring in things like P2 on it, but we'll sort of see how that goes. So that's kind of what I'm expecting is Crocodile, Crobat, and Bronzong 100%, and then I think Alolan Marowak is 100%, and then he's got to decide between like Virizion, Lumineon, Clefairy, Kangaskhan, Rotom-Fan for the last 2 slots there. But let's get into what I'm bringing. We're bringing a Rindoberry Seismitoad with Water Absorb. This can switch in on Lumineon for days, and honestly any other water coverage he might have, which is pretty much nothing else, but there you go. I thought about Poison Touch, but we're running a special set, so Poison Touch makes no sense either. Oh, excuse me. This is our Rock Setter for the week. Stealth Rock, Toxic, Icy Wind, and Scald. Rocks are going to be useful against the Marowak and the Crobat if I can get him to switch in on those, especially the Marowak getting as much chip as I can. And the Rotom-Fan is weak to it, and so is Kroagnol, and so is Aurorus. He's actually got a really Rocks weak team, despite his resistance in Virizion, Crocodile, and Bronzong. Toxic is there for the Lumineon, because I can switch it on Lumineon, and then I can Toxic it, or Toxic anything. Because I don't know if he would bring in Bronzong on this. He might bring in Crobat on this, and I can Scald it, or Icy Wind or whatever. Icy Wind is there for the speed control. I can eat a hit from the Virizion, get an Icy Wind off, and then go into my Yanmega and deal with it that way. Scald is there for the Crocodile, because I can actually switch this in on Crocodile really well as well. Scald also deals with the Alolan Marowak, which I can switch it on. Pardon me. I mean, Scald just hits everything on his team, bar the Lumineon, and I can just Toxic Stall that thing out for days, so there you go. Running fully physically defensive, tiny bit of special attack investment. Again, this is to deal with the Crocodile. I can also eat a Leaf Blade from the Virizion with the Rindoberry, and that's what that's there for. And that's pretty much it. Again, we wall the Alolan Marowak. We only have so many switch-ins with Seismitoad because it doesn't get recovery, but that's sort of the job of Seismitoad. I don't even care if I don't keep rocks up on his side of the field. I just care that Seismitoad gets rocks up at one point and then gets a bunch of other stuff done. Rotom-Mow, we're bringing a speedy max HP Rotom-Mow with Defog, Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, and Leaf Storm. Alolan Marowak kind of walls Rotom-Mow otherwise, so I'm running Shadow Ball to hit that and weaken it a little bit. Leaf Storm is there for the Crocodile, and that's basically it because Volt Switch hits everything else. Defog to get rid of rocks on his side, or from his side, because I'm running Yanmega and Darmanitan. I need to get rid of rocks somehow. And yeah, so speed is there for the Rotom Fan. We can speed tie with his Rotom Fan if that's what he wants to go for, and that's pretty much Rotom-Mow set. We're bringing defensive Porygon 2 instead of especially defensive Porygon 2 this week with Trace is definitely it's there for a reason. I can trace things like Intimidate on the Crocodile, I can trace Levitate on the Bronzong, Magic Guard on Clefairy would be pretty clutch, or I can see at least if the Clefairy is unaware or Magic Guard. If it's unaware, that's better for me, I think, than it being Magic Guard, I think. Can trace Storm Drain on the Lumineon, that'd be clutch. Justified on Virizion. Excuse me. Find out if he's Lightning Rod Alolan Marowak. I doubt it, but he could be. I could trace Snow Warning. I could trace Levitate on the Crogonal. So Trace is Levitate on the Rotom Fan. I just realized he has 3 Levitators and a Flying type. That's probably a little too much. And a Virizion to cover his Alolan Marowak. He really doesn't need that much ground coverage. Anyways, yeah, that's what Trace is there for. Ice Beam is there for the Virizion and the Crocodile and the Crobat and the Rotom Fan. Shadow Ball is there for the Bronzong and the Alolan Marowak. And Foul Play is there for the Kangaskhan, the Crobat, the Alolan Marowak, and we've got Recover. I just needed to run 3 attacks. I mean, I'd be worried if I Foul Played into the Virizion. That would kind of suck. So what my play would probably be is Foul Play the Alolan Marowak and then Ice Beam. If I were to go that route, obviously he's probably going to knock off, but Ice Beaming the Virizion would be best case scenario. He does get a lot of coverage to deal with my Porygon too, but it really needed to come. I didn't really have a better way to work around that. I thought about running Toxicon here, but Bronzong and Crobat just seem like really good switch-ins to me, especially Bronzong. So I'm not entirely sure what to do there. But yeah, we're fully physically defensive. Takes on Crocodile really well. Little Marowak, Virizion again. Anything that gets knockoff is a pain in the ass, and he's just definitely going to bring a ton of knockoff spam, but we'll sort of work around it. Because I do have, like, what, 3 Violet users on my team, so knockoff is, like, really good against me. Darmanitan, we're bringing a Banded Darmanitan again. I could run Scarf on this, and in fact, I am just going to change it to Scarf, honestly, because I need the Scarf pressure. But, I had it as Banned because Banded Flare Blitz 2-hit KOs everything on his team. Banded Flare Blitz 2-hit KOs defensive Lumineon, which is actually his best switch into it, because it's taking 50%. So it's a roll for Banded Darmanitan to 2-hit KO Lumineon after leftovers, but that was pretty crazy to me. So Flare Blitz is just going to absolutely destroy his team. Yeah, it OHKOs a lot of stuff as well if I was Banded. It OHKOs things like Cryogonal, it OHKO'd Bronzong if it wasn't heat-proof, it OHKO'd Virizion, obviously, it OHKO'd Rotom Fan, it OHKO'd Kangaskhan, it OHKO'd Crocodile through Intimidate, I believe, as well. U-turn is there just for the momentum. I think I can probably just lead with this and U-turn out, especially if he wants to lead Crocodile. I can find out if he's Scarf or not. I'll outspeed him if I'm Scarf. Earthquake is there. Excuse me, only for the Alolan Marowak, and I've got Brick Break there in case he does want to set up the Veil, or he's got screens on something else, then Brick Break is some nice tech. It'll also hit the Kangaskhan pretty hard as well, so it's kind of cool. I'm actually not sure if Brick Break works with Sheer Force. So I guess we'll find out in the game. We're running enough speed on here for the Crocodile. That's the fastest thing I can outrun. He's got Kangaskhan, Lumineon, and Crocodile at 90, 91, and 92 base speed, respectively, which I'm not a huge fan of, but that means we're outrunning a large portion of his team with this. Only things outspeeding us are potentially a Scarf Virizion, Scarf Crobat, which doesn't make sense against my team, and Scarf Cryogonal. I could see Scarf Virizion potentially being a thing to outrun Yanmega after 1 speed boost, but we'll sort of see how that goes. We're bringing Yanmega, we're bringing Sega with the Buginium Z. Buginium Z Bug Buzz blows through his entire team. That's about all there is to it, to be completely honest with you. Like, Bug Buzz kind of just smacks everything. The only thing that I can't deal with this set is Crobat. And Crobat's actually going to be a really big problem to my team. So maybe instead of Giga Drain, I should run Psychic for it. Maybe instead of U-turn, I'll run Psychic, actually. Psychic. I just needed a way to deal with the Crobats. Now I got Psychic, whatever. I'm not running Psyche MZ again like I did last time. That's just not going to happen. Roost is there for some recovery. It's either Roost or Protect, but I want to bring Yanmega in as sort of a mid-game breaking potential thing. Once a bunch of stuff is chipped, then Yanmega can do a lot. Giga Drains, they're almost exclusively just for the Lumineon. Do you get Shadow Ball? You do get Shadow Ball. Maybe I'll just run Shadow Ball for the Alolan Marowak. I don't need Air Slash against this team, so I'll just run Shadow Ball for the Alolan Marowak then. I thought Giga Drain would be useful against Lumineon, but realistically I'm probably just going to Bug Buzz through it anyways, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot. I was sort of, when I was building, I was actually thinking I was Speed Boost and Tinted Lens at the same time, which is not good, because I could be running Scarf Tinted Lens, which would do a lot, but Speed Boost is going to be better for me, I think, because it lets me potentially have Speed Scarf Roseon at +2 boosts. Roost is there for the recovery. I don't know if I'm going to need it or not. Protect might actually just be more useful to get a speed boost up for free. So we'll go with that. I don't know if I'm ever going to click Protect or not. He could just like SD on Virizion if I Protect, which would be extremely annoying. So actually it wouldn't be that annoying because then we would just be able to destroy it the next turn. Do I even want Psychic? Do I want Air Slash instead? I'm just like adjusting the set as we go. Do I want Shadow Ball or do I want Air Slash instead? Shadow Ball isn't feeling that useful. Whatever, we've changed the set. I don't even know anymore. This way we can actually deal with Virizion. Who knows? We're running enough speed on here to outrun Crocodile. Max special attack, tiny bit of HP. Bugini MZ Bug Buzz, again, it still demolishes a lot of the stuff on his team, so I'm not super against that. It's kind of a big nuke to be able to deal with Bronzong, which is the main reason why I had it there. And that's Yanmega. So last but not least, we're bringing Slurpuff with Chesto Berry, Unburden, Calm Mind, Dazzling Gleam, Rest, Sleep Talk. So we're mono Dazzling Gleam, but we're a Resto Chesto to get our Unburden boost, and then Sleep Talk, Calm Mind. He could Whirlwind me with the Crobat, and Roar with the Kangaskhan. Those are his phasing options for a setup sweeper. I thought about bringing Duosion, but Alolan Marowak just OHKOs Duosion with Shadow Bone, so it's not really worth my time to do that. And he's got a lot of knockoff spam anyways, so I figured Slurpuff was probably the better setup sweeper this game. Mono D-Gleam does suck against Crobat and Bronzong, but I can set up on the Bronzong pretty easily, and I can kind of set up on the Crobat-ish, depending on his set, because I'm physically defensive. Bronzong could Gyro Ball me, but I'm not running any speed, so it doesn't really matter. And actually, I wonder if I can run no IVs. No. I need to be at 159 speed to outrun his entire team after Unburden. Actually, let me just double check that math. 395 divided by 2, 197. What? Oh, right. But I'm not speed creeping that. 318 divided by 2 is 159, yeah. So, if he's speed creeping over my Darmanitan and my Yanmega, which are the fastest things on my team, then Slurpuff's going to outrun everything with 159 speed. And I'd actually rather have less speed to eat Gyro Balls better, so we're going to go with that. Yeah, I think Slurpuff can do work. Alolan Marowak is, again, it's a problem, but I've got physical defensive investment, so hopefully we can need some hits from it. And I can always rest on it and Sleep Talk. We'll see. It's kind of an experiment. I'm not actually expecting to win this game. I think the matchup is fairly poor, despite Darmanitan two-shotting everything with Bandit Flare Blitz, or one-shotting. But we did just change it to Scarf, so yeah, I don't know. Like, all of his knockoff spam, this is probably the hardest matchup that I'm going to face all season. And if I'm going to lose my undefeated streak, it's going to be here. Honestly, a 4-0 start to the season has been really strong. Our match against Cog could have gone a lot better if I had actually just clicked Rock Slide instead of clicking Rock Polish on the Rampardos. We could have won that game like 3-0 instead of 1-0. But, oh well. You live and you learn, right? Anyways, that's going to be it for me. We played Jay, and I will catch you guys for the match.